President Donald Trump appeared to acknowledge publicly for the first time on Sunday that Democrat Joe Biden won the November 3rd U.S. presidential election, but said he was not conceding and asserted that the election was rigged, reiterating his false claims of widespread voting fraud. Biden defeated Trump by winning a series of battleground states that the Republican incumbent had won in 2016. The Democratic former vice president also won the national popular vote by more than 5.5 million votes, or 3.6 percentage points. Trump seemed to acknowledge Biden's victory in a Twitter post in which he listed unsubstantiated allegations of fraud. Trump's campaign has filed a lawsuit seeking to overturn the results in multiple states, though without success, and legal experts say the litigation stands little chance of altering the outcome of the election. Election officials of both parties have said that there is no evidence of major irregularities. Democrats and other critics have accused Trump of trying to delegitimize Biden's victory and undermine public confidence in the American electoral process. After several thousand supporters of President Donald Trump protested the election result and marched to the Supreme Court, nighttime clashes with counter-demonstrators led to fistfights, at least one stabbing and more than 20 arrests. Several other cities on Saturday also saw gatherings of Trump supporters unwillingly to accept Democrat Joe Biden's electoral college and popular vote victory as legitimate. Cries of "Stop the steal" and "Count every vote" rang out despite a lack of evidence of voter fraud or other problems that could reverse the result. The demonstrations in the nation's capital went from tense to violent during the night and early Sunday. Videos posted on social media showed fights, projectiles and clubs as Trump backers sparred, with those demanding they take their MAGA hats and banners and leave. Police said they made 21 arrests on a variety of charges, including assault and weapons possession, and recovered 8 firearms. 4 officers were injured. No arrest has been made in the stabbing, and the victim was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. Trump himself had given an approving nod to the gathering Saturday morning by sending his motorcade through streets lined with supporters before rolling onto his Virginia golf club. People chanted "USA, USA" and 4 more years, and many carried American flags and signs to show their displeasure with the vote tally, insistence that, as Trump has baselessly asserted, fraud was the reason. Azerbaijan postponed taking control of a territory ceded by the Armenian forces in a ceasefire agreement, but denounced civilians leaving the area for burning houses and committing what it called ecological terror. The ceasefire ended 6 weeks of intense fighting between Azerbaijan and Armenia over the Nagorno-Karabakh region and territories outside its formal borders that had been under the control of Armenian forces since 1994. The agreement calls for Azerbaijan to take control of the outlying territories. The first Kalbaja was to be turned over on Sunday. But Azerbaijan agreed to delay the takeover until November 25th after a request from Armenia. Azerbaijani President Aideh Hikmet Hajiyev said worsening weather conditions made the withdrawal of Armenian forces and civilians difficult along the single road through mountainous territory that connects Kalbaja with Armenia. After the agreement was announced early Tuesday, many distraught residents preparing to evacuate set their houses ablaze to make them unusable to Azerbaijanis who would move in. Armenia says 1,434 servicemen died in this year's fighting, but civilians' casualties are unclear. Azerbaijan hasn't stated its losses. The Italian Coast Guard released dramatic nighttime video showing migrants frantically grabbing buoyancy aid thrown at them after their boat capsized. The Coast Guard saved 31 people from a sinking boat carrying migrants on Saturday after it capsized 3 miles off Lampedusa. As migrants are heard shouting for help in the darkness, the video shows one Coast Guard scuba diver plucking someone out of the water. Other Coast Guard members on board patrol boat Barletta were seen throwing life jackets and buoyancy aids in the dark sea where people could be heard shouting. One migrant was seen holding onto a rope in the water and a hand pulling him up to the boat. The Italian Coast Guard deployed 2 patrol boats and an helicopter in the rescue operations. According to a statement from the Coast Guard, all the rescued are in good condition. 15 countries have formed the world's largest trading bloc, covering nearly a third of the global economy. The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (RCEP) is made up of 10 Southeast Asian countries, as well as South Korea, China, Japan, Australia, Malaysia, and New Zealand. The pact is seen as an extension of China's influence in the region. The deal excludes the US, which withdrew from a rival Asia-Pacific Trade Pact in 2017. President Donald Trump pulled his country out of his Trans-Pacific Partnership (TPP) shortly after taking office. The deal was to involve 12 countries and was supported by Mr. Trump's predecessor, Barack Obama, as a way to counter China's surging power in the region. Negotiations over the RCEP lasted for 8 years. The deal was finally signed on Sunday on the sidelines of a virtual summit of the Associations of Southeast Asian Nations hosted by Vietnam. 10 people died in a fire at a Romanian hospital treating coronavirus patients. The blaze broke out in the intensive care unit of the Piatraniamt Conti Hospital and spread to an adjoining room. Officials said it was unclear what triggered it. 7 other people were injured and in a critical condition, including the doctor on call. Prosecutors said they would investigate the cause of the fire. On Sunday, the government said public health inspectors and the Agency for Emergency Situations would check the conditions under which medical equipment was operating in all intensive care units. Nearly 13,000 COVID-19 patients were in hospital across Romania as of Sunday, including 1,169 in intensive care units. The country has reported 360,281 coronavirus cases since February and 8,926 deaths. Even before the pandemic, Romania's healthcare system had been under pressure, dogged by corruption, inefficiencies, and politicized management.